Welcome to Brampton Focus. When do we get a university? Well, that question has been posed for decades on the streets of Brampton, and we're pleased to report that the Ontario government has an answer. My name is Michael A. Charbon. Next on Brampton Focus, we hear from Charles Sousa, the Finance Minister of Ontario, and Madam Mayor Linda Jeffries with the announcement of a university in Brampton, right here on Brampton Focus. Welcome back to Brampton Focus. Well, here at Brampton Focus, we pivot on good news. And last week, the Ontario government decided to make an announcement, a timely announcement for Ontario's intention to expand post-secondary education. Their plans were to create a new university-led post-secondary sites in both Brampton and Halton. And it's focused on science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. It's called STEAM. The quick facts is the Ontario government is going to invest some $180 million. And they believe that Brampton and Milton are the perfect sites for these two universities. They identify these sites, Brampton and Milton, as Ontario's innovative superhighway, or super corridor, one would say. They want to be able to retain youth in this area because we're going to continue to grow. Some of the facts are they want to have increased access to post-secondary education closer to home, develop Ontario's highly skilled workforce, and help students acquire the talents and skills needed for a knowledge-based economy. All important things. And Brampton Focus was there when Charles Sousa made this announcement.
Our government believes in making investments to help Ontarians to get the skills they need and participate in the new economy, to ensure students have access to high-quality post-secondary education based on their ability to learn, not just on their ability to pay. And that's why starting in 2017-18 school year, we're moving forward with one of the most ambitious reforms in student assistance in North America. Our changes will make average college or university tuition free for students from families with lower incomes. We estimate over 150,000 students will receive more upfront grants to pay tuition and to provide them with extra funding for other costs, including books. We're making OSAP simpler, more predictable, and more generous. And we're all the better off when everyone has the appropriate supports to reach their full potential.
Well, there you are. Charles Sousa talks about the new economy. He talks about access. He talks about money. 2017 is when the initiative will start. And they are ambitious reforms. You talk about affecting 150,000 students. You talk about student grants, OSAP, tuition. Excellent points. And one of the salient points here, and something that I wanted to bring back, is he said that it's based on ability to learn, not to pay. But more importantly, where do you locate something like this? More from Charles Sousa.
And today I'm delighted to announce that Ontario will invest up to $180 million to create two new post-secondary sites. The new facilities will offer students hands-on opportunities to develop greater skills for these high-demanding fields of study and work. They'll focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics with an arts option. And they'll build on the skills that graduates need to be part of a highly skilled workforce. So, together with my colleagues, with our mayor and council, we're all very pleased to say that one of the sites will be right here in Brampton.
When the finance minister announces $180 million over two city sites and two universities, and your city is one of those, being Brampton, it's a very positive day. If you recall, in the last election, Madam Mayor Linda Jeffries ran her campaign with one of the pillars being bringing a university to Brampton. Well, this looks like this has come true. She put together a blue ribbon panel, and there was many people in the community who was interested in seeing the results of this blue ribbon panel. Well, positive results have occurred, and Madam Mayor Linda Jeffries was in attendance when Charles Sousa and the government announced that Brampton was selected as one of the sites.
This is truly a historic day for Brampton. In my inaugural speech as mayor, I spoke of our collective dream of bringing a university to our city. It's a dream many of us shared. Today, that dream is being realized as the Ontario government has chosen us to be a host city for a new university campus. Successful cities combine capital, knowledge, and innovation to spark the next chapter of their development. This announcement has the power to transform our city. Since March 2015, our Blue Ribbon panel, led by Premier Bill Davis, has been hard at work ensuring that the city met the requirements of the province's previous bid call. Their work and their vision will be vital as we accelerate our efforts and build towards meeting the new requirements laid out by the province today. The panel will now need to ensure that our university partner is focused on science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, or as we've heard it called, STEAM. The panel will be recommending to Council a university partner who supports individual talent, innovation, and entrepreneurship to facilitate new opportunities for the future of education in our community. Brampton has grown rapidly to the 9th largest city in Canada, almost overnight. Years from now, we're going to look back on today's announcement as the beginning of Brampton's next chapter, the time when Brampton leveraged our high growth, our youth, our diverse population to become an innovative city of the future. Today is a day to celebrate new beginnings. Thank you, everyone, for sharing the excitement of building this historic announcement that will help us build a better Brampton together. Thank you.
Well, comments from a very happy mayor. That's a good thing for Brampton. Starting in January 2017, there's going to be calls for a proposal. They want to talk about who will potentially build this site. What is the partner university? Where is the location? And of course, there's going to be funding because although $180 million is being spent over the two universities, there's still going to be some funding needed to be able to propel this forward. Well, as we continue, we're going to drill down on this topic and find out lots more about what's going to happen to the University in Brampton. You're watching Brampton Focus. My name's Michael A. Charbon. Back with more right after this. Well, welcome back to Brampton Focus. A really good first segment, lots of information. You know, my next guest, it's the first term, halfway through being mayor. Madam Mayor Linda Jeffries joins us on Brampton Focus. First of all, Madam Mayor, congratulations. That's quite an accomplishment and something that you should definitely be proud of and the people of Brampton should be very happy about.
I'm thrilled. This is a historic day for Brampton, and a lot of people contributed to this announcement, and I want to thank everybody. Lots of people in Brampton, this was their dream, and we achieved something really amazing today.
Well, I said in one of my segments that it's been almost a decade or so where people have saying, when are we going to get a Brampton University? When is the university coming? And Charles Sousa, the finance minister, announced that today. When we talk about money, and you got to pay for the piper, as they say, he said $180 million over two sites, Halton and Brampton. That's about $90 million if you want to use hand grenades and horseshoes, if you wish, to Brampton. Of that, you figure a university is going to cost about $500 million. Where do you get the other $400 million from to finance that for the people of Brampton?
Well, I think today we're just basking in the glow of having a yes about a university in Brampton. We're a long way away from needing the money today, but it is something that many people have approached me. I mean, I think during my first term, the first year, and even as late as a week ago, people were thrusting $20 bills at me saying, here, put this towards the university. I said, wait, it's too early. We are looking for a university partner who will decide where they want to go. There's no point in building a house until you know how many people are going to live in the house and where it needs to be. So it's a little premature to decide where that money will come from, but we're going to work with our federal partners. We're going to work with businesses around the city who want to be part of this new entry point into post-secondary education with us. And as a city, we are going to be part of it, whether it's land, whether it's money. We all need to be part of the success. And I think, you know, some of the economic development papers that I've read, even a mid-sized university brings $2.5 billion to their local economy.
Now, when we talk about potential, we talked about the need for a hospital in Brampton, Peel Memorial. And as a result, there was a tax levy that was put on. So it was on your property tax to the tune of about $60 million. Is that one of the tools that you think will be used to help fund this university for the people of Brampton?
I'm not leaning that way. I think it's something that the council of the day chose to do. This council has a number of options available to it. We have partnerships with other landowners who may want to provide a site so the land can be donated. It can be city land, it can be private land. The funding will be something we'll work on over time. It's something we're going to discuss likely in our budget this year about how we do it, but it's not a one-time thing. It's going to be something that happens over a period of time. We want the best and the brightest come to Brampton. How we do it, what it will look like, is something we'll work out with the Blue Ribbon Panel and our university partner on a go-forward basis. Remember, we're not going to start out with 25,000 students at the beginning. We may start out with 1,000 or 5,000. So it's going to be an incremental, growing campus wherever it is in Brampton, and it's something we as a city want to think about, have a blueprint about how we progress. We want it to be successful. We need it to be successful.
When you talk about location, the other city that was identified, Halton, supposedly they've already selected their location and they're already in discussions with Laurier University. I mean, location is a really important thing. Obviously, we can't talk about specifics now because that would affect a whole retail area or people. But are we talking about in Brampton, outside of Brampton, below Brampton? Like how? Is there a certain area where you see that's more homogeneous to locate this?
I think, though, I'm not telling too many tales out of school, but in the interviews that took place with the Blue Ribbon Panel, all of the partners that I'm aware of that the panel spoke to wanted an urban setting. Not a greenfield, but an urban setting. Why would they want that? A couple of reasons. One is they want the transit. They want to be able to make sure that their students can get back and forth. Remember, university educations are an affordability issue as well. You don't want to one of the reasons many of our residents are happy is they likely won't have to send their young people out of town to live in residence. But also having an ability to get to school on transit is one of the reasons.
Well, that's
and the other reason is they want to be able to co-locate next to a library, next to a recreation center, so they don't have to build from scratch those facilities.
Support facilities.
So those are the things that drove the conversations we had before. But remember, the province told us your university will look like this before. Those were the parameters we worked. Today we got some information, and there'll be more that comes out over the coming weeks and months, that tells us they've opened the scope of what a university in Brampton can look like in the future. So there's a lot more interesting partnerships that are going to come to the table that were never interested before.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said urban, so it's not rural. I mean, Brampton still has lots of rural land. So when you say urban, again, you're talking transportation, accessibility. Are we talking downtown Brampton, associated? Because unfortunately, those three letters come back up, LRT, and you were a supporter of that. Yeah. I mean, there's still a little hair on the tennis ball, as some would say. I mean, you need connectivity.
And I would say that there is a lot of interest in our downtown core, north of it, south of it, east, west of it, anywhere in that region where you can collate, which is in walking distance. We do have good transit. We have a GO station. We have additional trips that go back and forth now, more than we've had probably in the last 30 years. We have a good GO service from a bus perspective. We have Zoom. We have a bus rapid transit system that keeps growing.
But you know as well as I do, an LRT or a connectivity from a transit to a university, if you're talking 5,000 students, I mean, you need parking space as well. Would you have that much land? I mean, the city owns land in downtown Brampton, but I mean, we're talking a huge footprint.
I'm not going to get into the details about how you're going to get a school
but you're
and
into
how the
urban.
students.
That's where you want to focus.
The people that we're talking to who are serious want an urban focus. They want their students to take buses and transit to get to school. They don't want to build parking lots. It was one of the impediments for why Erin Oaks didn't co-locate with Peel Memorial Hospital. They couldn't make the parking number work. It's a very big ticket item, and it does impede growth in your downtown when you have to pay for the parking, as well as the buildings themselves. So the more transit we build, the more affordable it is, and the more you're likely to build the density up.
With about a minute left in this segment, is there a ceiling to how many people you can have attend this university? I mean, as far as students, because that would have direct implications on transit, on footprint, on how it's going to take an effect on the urban nature surrounding it.
I think that some of the economic development plans we've seen, and we've done a business plan as a city, we put the money into putting a good plan together. Most plans talk about the 5 to 10,000 in those first few years and then growing that footprint. It depends on what kind of school we are. If we're health and life sciences, if we're engineering, what are the areas that we think
We
we're
said
going
it
to
was
specialize?
STEAM, so it's a combination of all that,
It's
right?
science, technology,
Math,
mathematics, art, all of those engineering. Anything innovation is where we're going, and those conversations are happening even with Algoma University, who has a very high international student base and an Indigenous student base. Those are two areas that the province wants to extrapolate and grow. They're the group that are in a report that Sean Conway did for the Premier and will help inform us going forward.
It's the innovative future highway, as one would say. Brampton University coming in our final segment with Madam Mayor Linda Jeffrey. We drill down a little bit more and let's talk about the Blue Ribbon Panel and what's in store for the future of Bramptonians. My name is Michael A. Charbon. You're watching Brampton Focus. We return with Madam Mayor Linda Jeffrey right after this. Welcome back to Brampton Focus, joined by Madam Mayor Linda Jeffrey. We're talking about the brand new university. Now, when you talk about a partnership, you got to find a partner with your university, you've got to find a partner for funding, but there really is a partnership between the people of Brampton and yourself, and you made an interesting comment at the announcement. We'll roll that here.
Brampton's new campus will be built on the already significant provincial investments in health and human sciences sector, as we have seen in Brampton Civic, Peel Memorial, and Erin Oak Kids over the last decade. And we will be reaching out to our community. Bramptonians recognized a good investment when they saw one. You stepped up to the plate when we had the opportunity to build and expand new health facilities in Brampton.
Stepping up to the plate, that's a very poignant comment. Bramptonians have to participate in this as well because they're going to benefit from this. How do you see the single person participating in helping this to move forward?
Well, from a practical perspective, over the last 2 years since I became mayor, people have been talking to me about the university. A lot of seniors. This is their issue. They love it and they're thinking about their children and their grandchildren. And I meet them in parks and they're trying to slip me 20s to say, put this into the university fund. I'm like, it's a little early, don't do that yet. But from a practical perspective, residents of Brampton have already been paying because of the failed bid before and the work that was done on putting an application together. And even now, we're putting some dollars into an economic development study that will inform our application or our proposal now. They have been paying, and this is their long-term dream to build a better Brampton. So they're part of it now, and I want to put them on notice that I want their ideas. I want their best ideas. I want their enthusiasm and their passion. But one of the first groups we're going to go to are the businesses. So the Canons, the Amazon, the Loblaw, all of these companies are part of a long-term plan because this application, this proposal, will actually be using their knowledge and their skill sets that they're going to need for their future employees to drive the kind of programs we're going to offer. So the province wants experiential learning. That means internships. That means opportunities to find out what's the innovative change you need in your business to help you be a global successful partner.
Be gotten from graduating students from Brampton University.
Yes.
So when you talk about decisions, the Honourable William Davis was part of the Blue Ribbon Panel. What a legacy for him to say that he was part of. I mean, he's done a lot. I mean, Steve Paikin wrote a book on it, and Brampton Focus is going to speak to him about that book and what William Davis did. But when you talk about decisions, who makes the decision? Who makes the decision what university? Who makes the decision where it's going to be built? Who makes the decision where the money's going to come from? It must be a complicated mix, is it not?
Well, it was a little challenging at the beginning because we didn't know the rules of engagement, but we knew that the province was going to disclose how the application process was going to work. They were supposed to do it last fall, but then the Premier shuffled her cabinet and it's a new group of people. Now they've got more information based on a report written by Sean Conway for the Premier that talks about that skilled trades, that STEAM, the science, the technology, the engineering, the math, the arts
Right.
that will help guide what
So who
an
makes the
application.
decision on what university?
So the university, the Blue Ribbon panel will come back with a recommendation as to who that will be. They will recommend it to council. Council will make the final decision.
right.
There are 4 members
Location.
of council on there. The university is going to decide on the location. So the partner themselves are going to have to put some skin in the game because they're making a leap of faith to want to come to Brampton.
So the deal then is combined. So you're going to not only, so it's a combined. If you are selected university, here is where we want to put it. Respective to what your wishes are.
Yep.
Here's the university we're going to. So it's an interesting pitch scenario then.
It's an exciting pitch.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know too many communities that wouldn't want to be where we are right
No
now.
kidding.
We're poised. I think we're all going to remember where we were when we got the information that Brampton's getting a university.
You know, you talk about where we are now. There's approximately 200,000 youth that are here between the ages of 18 and 35. They believe it's going to increase by 20%. So we have the base here. You want to maintain people in Brampton, educated in Brampton, working in Brampton, and have people from outside come to Brampton instead of, as you said, a brain drain in the migration out. This is a huge tool to stop that leak, as one would say.
This will be a beacon. A university in Brampton will attract the best and the brightest. It'll retain the best and the brightest. I think our average age in Brampton is 34.
Yeah.
They're young, they're diverse, they're very well educated already. That's a great impetus to building the university. I think it strengthens our case.
Yeah.
Clearly, the province saw the opportunity here and wanted to move forward.
You
and I'm grateful.
know that this community is growing. I want to give you a minute or so to talk to the folks, and if you need to put a bow on this, because it's a very important thing and it's an accomplishment for you, and I think they want to hear it straight from you.
I want to thank everybody. I think that I thank you for making me mayor 2 years ago. I'm grateful to the province of Ontario and certainly Minister Sousa and Minister Matthews and the Premier for having confidence in Brampton and recognizing what a great city it is. 600,000 going to 900,000. This is a transition, a transformative announcement for us. We're very lucky. I want to engage you in our new university. I hope you're as excited as I am. This is a great day. This is something we should all be proud of. And I'm pleased that we got the chance to make the announcement today. And I hope you go, wherever you go in Ontario, you brag about Brampton, because we have something to brag about.
Excellent. With just under a minute here, let's talk about timing. Can we go quickly? Timing?
Sure.
2017, you're asking for proposals to build in universities. What's your time frame?
The province has indicated they will provide details to us early 2017. They want shovels in the ground, so to speak, in 2018.
Right.
It doesn't mean we have to build. It may mean we renovate or reconstruct parts of buildings wherever the university wants to go. But they're moving very quickly, which is exactly my timetable.
Right.
There's no time to waste. I want to move forward quickly.
Well, a university is coming to Brampton. Madam Mayor Linda Jeffries, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate your time. Congratulations, Brampton. Stand by, lots more to come. As Charles Sousa said, $180 million over 2 sites, and Brampton is one of them. My name is Michael A. Charbon. Thanks for watching Brampton Focus. You can always get to us at bramptonfocus.ca. Have a good day, and thanks for watching.